Welcome to Trading Lounge and the Indian report for the 12th of June, and starting with the daily chart here. As you may know, we've been looking at the move up through here in two ways. We were looking at it, one with the top in play and one with a little wave 4 to pull back and a wave 5 to move up. Obviously, this one here is not the case, and we'll take a closer look at that situation as well. So now we need to look at this here with this in here, and those two charts are, let's go to the 4-hour chart where we looking at this we were counting from the low here as 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 blah blah blah, 3 and 4, pulling back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree and then moving up, and we were looking for a long trade coming in across the top here basically. So that's not playing out. So we were also looking at the 1-hour chart where we had a slightly different count in, working the lows from here coming up and having a top in play there. So obviously that was the case. Now the market's moved down, so we need to figure out what's going on with that. So I want to go back to the daily chart for a moment. And I also, so with this here, we can have it as an A and a B and a C wave here. Okay, so I want to leave that there, but we can also have this here as wave 1 here and wave 2 coming back here. So not that it's going to matter in the short term, because I think that what will occur, we'll see 5 waves in here, 3 waves back up, and 3 waves down, 5 waves down here. Now it could stop here and move up, or it can continue to the downside here. Either way, we'll be on the right side at the right time in this leg here at least. Now, I want to look at the two possibilities here between B and 1 here. First of all, if we look at the Bank Nifty, now this is just a 4-hour chart here, and from the low here, I could see that we could look at this as an A and a B and a C wave here, then a B, basically an A and a B and a C wave here. Now I had a count that had this as the top, and I also got a count that we had one more little push up through there. So, but that's kind of irrelevant at this stage. If this major trading level here, the number 2 here becomes the resistance, then you can look too short from that point. You could also just put a stop above here as well for this here, because this will open up and drop through here. So it will probably drop down into here somewhere anyway. But my main takeaway here is that this whole pattern here always seemed corrective to me, like a continuation pattern to the downside. You know, the Nifty and a lot of other markets around the world push much higher. This just really stayed around this level here, and showed us this sideways overlapping continuation corrective pattern that will continue to the downside and make new lows down here. Now, even if this market here is like, if it's wave B here, then we're going to be making new lows here. Now, if it's wave 1 up here, and we're going to look at the reasons why that could be, then even getting an A and a B and a C down here for wave 2 would be enough to give this one here a new low here for a wave 5. So 3, 4, and 5 down here, and have that low in place. So the banks can make a new low and then work up higher from that point. So we just need to bear that in mind with all of this. Okay, now the reason for the markets to move up higher here would be this here on the US markets. Let's just look at this here. So in this case, we've got a clear 5-wave pattern up here. So we're looking for an A and a B and a C to pull back into this box here, and then move up from that way. Could this just continue all the way down here? Possibly. Then we'd need to look at this as the A wave here, the B wave here, and the C wave here for this. But, you know, we have to remember that the NASDAQ has made new highs here, and a lot of stocks have made new highs here, and that's why we're tracking 5 waves up here. So we're going to stay with this. What I know anyway, and what we can work with is looking at this move here. So stay with the S&P for a moment. Looking at this move here as an A wave here in 5 waves that's not complete yet, a B wave here, and then 5 waves for the C wave here. Now normally a C wave comes in on an angle. If it comes down sharp here, then we know that we've got a 3rd wave here. It's normally the A wave that moves down the fastest. All right, so, and we also need to confirm this has got 5 waves in it too. If this ends up just being 3 waves, well then it could just move up from that point. But if it's got 5 waves in it, then we'll get another 5 over here. So that's what we're looking for with the Nifty as well. So we could label this here the same as 1 and 2 here. And I know we've got overlapping wave structures here, 3, 4, 4 here on this low, and then moving up for 5 there for that. So we could count it like that. It doesn't really matter at this particular stage. I mean, obviously it matters if you're running a portfolio and things, but we're just traders. So, you know, we don't care about that stuff so much. So what we're looking for here now is this first leg down here in, you know, how are we going to treat that? So on the hourly chart where we had that particular count in, we had this count in on the hourly chart here, coming back from this point here. And yeah, as I mentioned, we're looking for a long trade above these highs here, but this didn't come in. We're down at the 61.8% retracement level here at this point. So our job is to count this particular structure here to find out where we are at this stage here. So on this particular count here, we'll label it in 2 ways here. We'll label it, because we're tracking 2 counts, we'll label it wave 1 and wave A here. Not that it matters that much at this particular stage, because what we need to do anyway is we could chase this a bit lower, whatever, but it's really what you see here is not what you get next. So this is, you know, there's a beginning to a trend, the middle of the trend, and the end of the trend. The end of the trend is much like the beginning of the trend. So, but anyway, what we're looking for here is a move down and then this ABC pattern here. And then we can look to short this next leg down. If this next leg down is on more of an angle, like I'm exaggerating here, but maybe not, but this is sharp coming, all these are sharp coming down here, typical A wave stuff. And if wave C here is on an angle, then we know that we've got an A and a B and a C wave here. So we just got to get through all that. We don't know that just yet. But what we can do is we can count down here, looking for 5 waves down here. And then move up from that point here. We could probably trade some of this up here once we get that low in place. So what I have to do now is I have to go to the tick chart here. I know it's all a little bit squashed up, but it's the only way I can count it so correctly anyway. I want to show you where what mistakes I'll show you what I'm up against here, what I've done. So what I've done here is from the top here, I'm counting this down as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. And then I'm looking at this as wave 3 low in here, coming back for wave 4 here to the 38.2% retracement level. We'll take a closer look at all of this. It may not go that high either, and then drop down into wave 5 at that point. Okay, so do we have a wave 5? We don't have a wave 5, so we can just copy this one here. That's not the one we want. That's the one we want. So we're kind of looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's what, if we get that, then we know that we're going to get an ABC back up and then another 5 down, okay? So what we need to do first is we need to have a look at this, and I just really want to point out the situation here for this. So I can see that we've got 5 waves here, right? I can see that we've got another 5 waves here. So I could count this as 1 and 2 and 3 here. And then this sideways ugly move here is wave 4 and then down for wave 5 for wave 1 here. That's what I'm thinking. right? But the problem with this is that wave 4 overlaps wave 1 here. Now, I don't know if that's a biggie. I'll have to look on the actual cash market for that and see what occurred at that particular point. Because if that's not the case, then we would need to count this down here as wave 1 here and wave 2 here. And then I would need to count this next one down here as wave 1 here. I probably have to come up a degree as well with this. So should I do that now? Yeah, I think I should actually. So I'll just copy this here. We'll get our alternative count going while we're here with this. So we're going to move that down to here. We're going to move that down to here. We're going to put that across to here, that across to here, and that across, whoops-a daisy, that across to here, and that there, and that here on this one, and this one here for that. So the correct way to count this would be down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, down for 1, back for 2, and then we're going down in just the third wave. So I think we'll leave that there, and that would take us much deeper and much lower down, and that's cool too. I mean, that's the way that it could play out, but we just got to we don't know if we need to accommodate this situation here where it's got overlapping wave structures with wave 1 here, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So a little bit tricky to figure out. If somebody knows the personality of this particular market better than me, well then please say something, because I'm only new to it, you know. All the little idiosyncrasies, the details matter, you know, and the personality. I mean, each market's the same, yet it's different. Like human beings, we're all the same, but we're all uniquely different. So anyway, moving on a little bit, what I want to do here now is I just want to count this down with you here. So we've got this ABC pattern here, then we've got down for 1 and 2 and 3 here and 4 here and down for 5 here. So we can put wave 1 here and wave 2 here with a little ABC pattern here. And then we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here, down for 1 and 2 here. And let's move this up here. So this one here is a little bit longer. We've got wave 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here, and for 1 and 2 and 3 here, and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, the fourth, and so on and so on. And we'll just say down for wave 5 here. If somebody could check on that for me, I was counting that as 1 and 2 here, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for third, fourth, and fifth. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Can somebody double check that for me? And then coming down for wave 5 here for this, into this low here. That would give us wave 3 at that point. And that's 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for the third, fourth, and fifth here. So we'll put it on that low here for that. I don't know what, get these buttons working. It's all about clicking, isn't it? So really what we should be seeing now with this here is we'll see some sort of ABC rally here, and we'll just need to work out how far it goes up. It's probably, I mean, you can trade this degree of structure. You know, trading off the low here takes courage as well. So, but also logic as well. So if you went long here, you'd have to leave the stop under here. And if this got breached here, then you'd need to be short. So very much, we've got a trading strategy on TradingLounge called Robo, and we've got Robo 1 and Robo 2 and Robo 3. So Robo 1 basically keeps you in the market all the time because you're either long or you're short, and your stop will put you short or put you long again. It works quite well if you get the right stock. but you can take bits and pieces from that. So we're looking for something. This looks like 1 and 2 here. So we could just, I don't know if this is going to play out. I'm moving into the guessing game now for this. So we could look at this, copy this here as 1 here, 2 here, 3, 4, and 5 here for the A wave here. And then we would see the B wave come in as a 3 wave move, and then a C wave here. So the 38.2% retracement level's quite high up here. Where did I, oh, there it is there. So around this level here. So we'll just put that there for the time being, just as a bit of a yardstick, and we'll see how we go with that. But I can say that you'd want to be short at this point. You'd want to be short under this level here at this stage, just in case it doesn't climb up there. It's best not to, it's better just to take setups rather than get attached to being long or being short. All right. Yeah, if the futures markets during the day rally, well then that's fine. But the cash market, when the banks open, well, the Indian market opens, the it'll gap down and it will drag these down with it. So yeah, just be mindful of that. Alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.